What's up, nail geeks? Today I have several toppers from Dance Legend that will be releasing in Psyche's Beau. She is a stockist site that has several polishes and makers from various parts of the world that I encourage you guys to check out. Polishes that you are not able to get shipped here into the US, you will be able to find in her shop. First up is number 7. Dance Legend polishes typically number their shades, so we don't really see an actual name. The brand is from Russia. Their names typically go with the number for their collection. Now, number 7 is a unicorn pigment. The shift on this one goes from a strong, intense red to green. On tilt and shaded lighting, you're going to see a nice burnt orange come out to play and a really bright green. This is reminiscent of the unicorn pea pigment, and I feel like on my videos you're seeing this a little bit more muted than what I'm seeing in person. In person it is quite vibrant, and I think I probably should have gone 2 coats on the video just to make sure you guys could see what I'm doing. However, just take my word for it, it is a lot more in your face in person, and I think it would look great as a topper over damn near any color, to be honest. The next polish is number 11. This is a gorgeous emerald green topper, and I'm going in doing a heavy coat, so I kind of started off a little bit light and then I built it back up on that same coat. This one is super vibrant, and I think it's probably a little more dense than 7, and I think it would look fantastic over any polish as well. The next topper is number 12. This is a golden topper. I did see a very subtle shift of orange on this, but mostly you're going to see this really almost like a gilded type of gold. It's very fine, tiny flakes, and it gives you this shimmering jewel looking effect. I really liked it over black here, and I think on my blog post you'll see it looked really well over a mauve shade as well. I think it just really pops over just about any color you put it over. All of these toppers, I had no texture after top coat. I didn't need to fish for anything. They pulled up very nicely, and the bases are just slightly tinted so that whatever your base color is will still pop. The next topper is number 13. This is probably my favorite in the set. This is a rich sapphire blue. It comes up very opaque. I will say, especially for this one and maybe 7, be careful of your brush strokes. I know it kind of feels like you want to just harshly brush it on there, but as you're seeing here, if you go in with a light hand and just kind of float the shimmer over your polish, you'll be just fine. If you do get a little brush stroke happy, as you're seeing here, you probably get a little bit of balding on there. So just remember, float the polish over your base color and you'll be just fine. This one was super opaque, and I kind of went in with starting out a little thin, but then I went heavy-handed on it, and I think after that point I didn't really need to put any more on my nail. It covered really well. So once again, float over your polish and don't be afraid to go just a little heavy-handed with it. The last 2 polishes I have to share with you guys today is they're 2 flaky toppers. These are super shifty and have a lot of dimension to them. This one is number 930, and I didn't have to fish for those flakes to come up. As you're seeing here, I feel like this one you're going to need to dab a little bit. Once again, no fishing required, but just with how packed this topper is with these flakes, you're going to want to go in just kind of lightly with your brush, and then if you see any little patchy spots, go in and just kind of dab your brush and you'll be just fine. I didn't have any texture with this one either, and it totally just, wow, like it's really intense in the shift. I'm seeing greens and golds and yellows and oranges and just really, really, really dense. I think this would be fantastic for fall vampy shades as well as lighter colors. I think you're going to see a different spectrum of the rainbow depending on what base you put on there. The last flaky polish is number 937. This is a what I would describe as a confetti topper. I didn't have to fish for those flakes to come out, but as you can see here, make sure you go in with a light hand and then you kind of dab it around. Just move those flakes around enough. It dried down decently well for me, so I feel like doing the dabbing technique, it's not going to give you some kind of weird texture. After I top coated, everything was smoothed out and I was good to go. I think this one is another one that's very versatile and you could wear it with just about any base color. You're going to see a very obvious rainbow. Each of those flakes has a different type of shift to them, and there's different sizes in here. So there's really tiny, and then it goes all the way up to these slightly larger flakes. You're going to see just greens and blues and reds. It's all over the place, and like I said, just be careful with your brush strokes and I think you're going to be just fine. All 6 of these polishes I think offer just an extra amount of oomph to what you're doing with your nails. They're super, super pretty. Just playing around, I did put these over some base colors that I thought would flatter the shimmers and the overall shift to the unicorn pigments on my blog post. So you'll see it over, I did some grays, a mauve, cobalt blue, things like that. So I encourage you guys to check out that over on my blog site. The release date for these are not announced quite yet. Once again, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, there is a brand new Facebook fan group in for Psyche's Beau, and she's going to be announcing when these release. Now, these are discontinued from Dance Legend, so if you want to grab them, what Psyche's Beau will have is the last of these bottles. So if you're wanting them, be sure to keep an eyeball out for Psyche's Beau and her posts so you know when these go live, because once they sell out, that's it. As usual, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much.